No Lie is back, folks. We are back and ready to go. This is going to be a beautiful week of football. You know, I got my October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your pumpkin with?
Yeah, you already know. Trick or treat, you know. And I know a lot of tricks, but I don't know too many treats. Alrighty. Before we get started on our beautiful love of pigskin football, we're going to get started with a little, what I call brouhaha that developed in the Staples Center last night. Chris Paul, Reggie, Rondo were involved with some war of words, and then all of a sudden turned into a war of hands. Brandon Ingram was also involved. He actually started the what we like to call a little ruckus, or whatever you want to call it, going on. What do you make of that?
I mean, I think it's a part of the game. I mean, it just got heated. You know, LA got their opener. Rondo feisty, Paul feisty. I mean, Chris Paul said he spit on him. So I mean, if a man spits on you, blows have to be exchanged.
Oh yeah, you gotta handle business at that point.
At the bare minimum, you know what I'm saying. Right. So if you get spit on, that's just, you know, it's law. The swing back.
It is common law. Also, there was a story out that Rondo's people were involved with Chris Paul's wife. They would have some words as well, which led up to this little brouhaha that developed. So there is a backstory to that little,
okay.
So once you mess with the misses, you know, now it's time.
Oh yeah, that's when blood gets involved. Yeah, a little blood.
And then Brandon Ingram, he shouldn't have been involved. I mean, he was over there. He was mad about a foul. I think he got mad because James Harden was going to the hole, and you know when he goes to the basket, he like to sling them elbows out. He didn't appreciate that too much, you know. Had a couple words to say to him. And then he wants to get involved with Carmelo, which I would not advise because he's about that.
I mean, people don't know. He got a little, you know. Yeah, don't.
I'm not going to discredit. I don't know. I ain't saying
you
he was a
see, he went
pushover.
right at Harden. He pushed him like Harden was a girl.
But Harden looked at him like he was a girl. So
but he pushed him. He pushed him, and Harden jumped back.
Harden's not about that work.
I know he ain't about. Ingram is.
Melo is.
Melo ain't. He ain't fight all year. Melo, I mean.
Nah, he about it. Somebody swing with him.
I mean, not saying Melo gonna suck. Melo definitely gonna swing, but I mean, let's talk about ball. I mean, I don't know that person. I don't know who getting busy or what. I don't know about all that. I know about ball. I know when blows is thrown, you have to exchange. That's all I know.
Alrighty.
Harden or sucker.
So, what do you make of how Philly looked early on? I mean, they had a close game last night to Orlando. Mm-hmm. Ben Simmons was out after the first quarter. He has back issues day to day. Embiid's playing good ball, but honestly, they didn't improve at all. They're the same team as they were last year.
And I don't think so. It's too early, man. I would like to get into these picks, man, because we can talk about basketball. I want to get into these picks. I know you want to do the basketball thing right now. I'm trying to. It's football Sunday. I mean, because we could do if we do the basketball, I mean, that's going to, because you got to understand, it's early. Everybody's trying to say Philly's this, that, and the third. I think the East is going to go through Toronto.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I agree with that.
That's why I said that's a whole different you know what I'm saying? I think so.
All right. Mm-hmm. So, there is a game on right now. The Chargers and the Titans is 20-13 in the fourth quarter early on. So, I mean, we can't pick that.
Everybody, we thought Chargers. I thought Chargers. Tennessee.
I thought Chargers. Yeah. I mean, well, they're doing what they're supposed to do right now.
They're up 20-13.
Exactly. So, first game I got New England and Chicago. In Chicago, it's going to be nice and cold and brisk out there.
No Gronkowski.
No Gronk. Gronk is out.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what?
What?
I'm going with Chicago.
Oh, great. I'm going with New England.
I'm going with Chicago.
Okay.
And I'm going with Chicago because they kind of have the same defensive formula that the Jacksonville Jaguars do. They can rush forward, they can get to the quarterback, they got a stud pass rusher that can get to Tom Brady.
Okay.
And their offense is good enough. They're on the road. If they was in Foxborough, I would pick New England, no doubt about it. But since it's in Chicago, I think that there's something to be said about that. And Chicago's going. I think they can pull this out. I really do think so. I think it's a 3-point win.
I don't feel your confidence, Jack. I don't feel it.
It's a 3-point game. I mean, it was a hard game to pick for me personally. But I think Chicago can pull this out. I'm going for the underdog. I'm going for Chicago. The spread got them at 3.5 for New England. They cover. Yeah, Chicago covers.
Yeah, right. Chicago's going to get slaughtered. You got to understand one thing. Belichick knows you got Khalil. Now, see, it's a lot of talk about Khalil Mack. I don't even know if Khalil Mack is better than Bob Miller. Everybody can see all the Diaz have jumped on Khalil Mack, but they're not even paying attention to what Von Miller did in Arizona. It was a debacle. But
it's Arizona.
Yeah, I would say Arizona. I said Phoenix, I switched to Arizona. But at the end of the day, the reason why I'm picking New England, Khalil Mack's not at 100%. Send somebody to chip block him, to slow him down so Brady can have time. James White out the backfield. Sony Michel. You got Josh Gordon ready to explode. Edelman over the middle. There's nothing they could do to stop Tom. They're a good defense that could be a great defense. But when you let Brock Osweiler beat you,
what did I tell you about
there's
that
nowhere
game?
in the world.
What
I know it was a trap.
did
We know
I
it was a
tell
trap
you
game,
about
but
this?
at the end of the day, even in a trap game, you don't let Osweiler. A great defense will not let Osweiler beat them.
I told you.
They're not great yet.
It wasn't just Osweiler. I told you. What did I tell you about that game? In the Miami Heat, Chicago was kicking their butts in the first half, but when the second half rolled around, they were gassed.
Exactly, and that's when
But that's not going to happen in Chicago. That's not going to happen in Chicago.
I know it's not going to happen because New England going to beat that ass. You got to understand one thing. You got to understand one thing. Trubisky will be tested in all facets of the game. He's not true. He will get exposed. That New England defense will expose him.
Tomato.
Okay.
Chicago. All right. Cleveland and Tampa Bay. This one, I'm going to let you go first because I'm still juggling. I'm like, what the hell I'm going to pick in this game? My God. I mean, the spread is 2.5 for Tampa Bay. 2.5-point favorites, but that's about as well for me. That's almost a pick.
I like the Browns in this game. Because Nick Chubb is fun. They finally got the piece. They getting pieces. The only thing they need now, they need one more receiver to go for. They need another receiver with Mayfield. Losing Gordon hurt them, but I'm definitely going the Browns on this one. I think it's going to be a close game. But I'm going Browns because I believe Chubb, now you got Hot out the way. Now you can just see what Chubb's really about because we seen Sony Michel shine. Now we're about to see Chubb get his man. And then with Chubb, then you have Duke Johnson. I don't think Tampa will be able to slow them down. I think Mayfield will have a 3-touchdown game. Winston will... It'll be close. I think it'll be 3 to 7 points, but I ultimately believe at the end of the day, I think the Browns will travail.
I got Tampa Bay winning this game. They have the better weapons on the outside. I think that the Cleveland Browns, they play good defense, but not great. So, therefore, I think great players overmatch good defenses any day of the week. Mike Evans is a great receiver. They have nobody that can cover him one-on-one.
But Jameis doesn't throw to him the most.
Okay, but then who's going to cover O.J. Howard over the middle? They got two good.
He doesn't throw to him the most. He throws to Cameron Brate more than he throws to anybody.
Then you got a 2 tight end weapon. I mean, last time I checked, O.J. Howard got 4 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown last week.
Yeah, but then did Brate not score? Did Cameron Brate not score first?
Oh well, you got 2 tight ends. Two tight ends that can play.
Okay.
I like Chris Godwin over the middle. Chris Godwin is a very, very underrated out there right now for all y'all fantasy people.
But
That's
you know who he likes? Who does Jameis throw to more than Godwin?
Who?
Humphreys.
Okay, but dang, I mean,
more
weapons. So let's just keep adding. Let's just keep adding.
No, I'm not saying.
Okay, then you got
Humphreys is not
Jackson.
no damn weapon. Let's get that straight. He ain't no damn weapon.
And then you got Deshaun Jackson running up the seas.
Okay.
That's going to throw off the safeties. I got Tampa Bay winning this game.
All right, cool. I got the Browns.
And Detroit at Miami.
I got Detroit. That's very easy for me.
Yeah, that is easy for me.
Nah, I mean, why don't you go with Osweiler?
No, I'm not going with Osweiler.
Okay.
I mean, we done seen this story before.
I mean, is it going to be another heat game? Is Detroit going to get tired at halftime? Hopefully not. But they're well rested. They just come off the bye.
Exactly.
Yeah, so,
see, that's the difference. Yeah. That's the difference. Okay.
So we both go there.
Now, Philly, Carolina at Philly. I got Philadelphia walking away with this one. Carson Wentz, I think they're going to return back to form. They say he looks really, really good. He's getting healthier week by week. And Carolina, I don't think they have the weapons that they need to beat Philly in their defensive front. The way that the waves and waves.
Philly doesn't have they got the same defensive front. Philly and Carolina. They got run stoppers. They don't have pass rushers. Neither team. Chris who?
I like Chris Long and I like Brandon.
What do you mean Chris Long? Chris Long's a bum.
Yeah,
What are you talking about, Chris Long? Are you serious?
Okay.
He's a bum. He's only in the NFL because he's nice. He's a nice person. He's a big 6'5" nice person, and his father was a legend. The only reason he's in the league. He's a
pass rusher.
Brandon Graham is a pass rusher, but he's not. He doesn't have elite speed. They don't have elite pass rushers on neither team.
I like Philly better. They got more depth. At least you can give me that.
I like Philly. I think Philly's going to win because, I mean, came on the road. I think it's going to be a close one. But I got to go with Philly, too, because at the end of the day, I seen what Jordan Reed was able to do to that linebacker, that Panthers linebacking core last year. Eric Reed, everybody's looking at him to make some plays. He looked lost last week. Hopefully he can get in there. But at the end of the day, I think Zach Ertz putting pressure on them linebackers and them Carolina safeties. You got Clement. You got Smallwood out the backfield. Pick your poison. Philly.
Speaking of Jordan Reed, the game.
The game. The game.
The one.
There's a lot of emotions going on in this one.
Yeah, the one. It is the one.
This one hurts me.
Washington and Dallas.
Damn.
They got Washington 2.5 over Dallas.
I understand why. I'll tell you exactly why.
You can go first. I got a prop. I'm going to go get a prop.
I've been a Cowboy since '93, and this year is my first year not fully banging them because I don't like what Jerry Jones got going on. But it's a tough one right here. It pains me to say Washington is going to win this game, but I believe they will, and it's because of one guy. It's not one guy, but I watched the speed of Zach Brown, and Zach Brown Cam could not get comfortable. He couldn't get out the pocket. He couldn't go through because Zach Brown was spying on him the whole game, and it changed it. If Zach Brown spies on Dak the way he did Cam last week, it's Zeke or bust. Zeke can't score 5 touchdowns. He could probably give you about 2, but at the end of the day, it's gonna take more than Zeke to win this game. Zeke's gonna get his, but at the end of the day, I gotta go Redskins. Go ahead and DR. Good.
I got Dallas winning this football game.
Good.
I like their pass rush better. I like the fact that they have a runner in between the tackles. Unlike Carolina, Christian McCaffrey is not a true runner in between the tackles.
Okay.
He's very, very good. Don't get it twisted. I'm not discrediting that man. No shape or form.
So you don't think he can run between the tackles?
Not like Zeke.
I mean, come on, man. What
not like Zeke.
Come on.
Also, you got to think about the fact of the elite pass rushers that the Dallas Cowboys have can get after Alex Smith.
Alex Smith is smart though. He's
very, very. I'm not going to discredit him.
Okay.
But
not
they got
be a statue.
No. Okay. He's not Eli's set in stone.
No, he's not going to be the
no.
He's not going to be the statue.
He don't got cement feet or anything like that. His feet ain't nailed to the carpet.
He's going to move.
He can move.
Uh-huh.
I like Dallas in this game. I just like the fact of, I think that the weapons that they have, they can scheme it better. They have more to scheme with. You got Jameson Crowder's out. Okay. Paul Richardson is out.
Okay.
Who you going to throw the ball to?
Jordan Reed.
That's it.
AP, Jordan Reed. What's my other man? It's another dude that was balling. I forgot his name.
Josh Doxson?
Doxson's coming into his own. Doxson's coming in. Then you got Brandon Quick can do what Jay Crowder's been. Brian Quick can do what Jay Crowder does. They'll lose something, but the only thing that hurt was Chris Thompson. I think Chris Thompson hurt me the most, but at the end of the day, I'm about to say Chris Thompson's out too now. But you gotta understand, Alex is a quarterback. He's a winner. He's gonna win. He's gonna do enough.
Still is.
It'll be a close one.
Yeah. Oh no, I know it will be close.
It'll be damn sure.
Indy and Buffalo. I got Buffalo with the shocker.
This is gonna be a tough one.
I got Buffalo with the shocker.
I think this is gonna be the hardest one.
The reason I got Buffalo is the fact that their defense is actually playing some daggone good football.
There's good things going on.
Oh my God, they got something brewing over there. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be Folgers or Maxwell House or whatever, but they got something in the pot. I'm about to say, my God, they got something in the pot. Throw a little coffee, make pumpkin spice in there, and hey, you might have a recipe for something special.
Man, I ain't.
But as long as Nathan Peterman don't get in that daggone game, they're gonna be alright. They got Derek Carr.
They grabbed him off the street.
Derek Anderson. They could have grabbed me off the street. I ain't throwing three. I'm not throwing that ball to Joseph.
Derek off the street.
Shoot. I know some brothers off the street that could have got in there and did something better.
He gonna ball. I ain't gonna fake. I think he gonna ball.
I got Buffalo winning that game.
I do too. I gotta go with Buffalo too because Indy is just. I mean, Marlon Mack just gonna if Marlon goes over 125, Marlon Mack, they win. If he don't give them 125, they lose.
That's not happening. I mean, Luck gonna put up some yards. We're
not worried about that. T.Y. back, they will eat a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's about Marlon Mack. If he don't get the job done, they lose.
Yeah, they'll give you that. Kansas City, Cincinnati. My head's getting a little hot.
Okay, yeah, because you already know that's wrong.
Nah, it's messing up my dude.
I know it.
I can't have that.
You'll see.
Kansas City, Cincinnati. In Kansas City, I got Kansas City, and it's not even going to be close. I think there's going to be a landslide of epic proportions in Kansas City. The way that they played against New England, putting up 40 on the road, 40, and within a whisker of walking away with one. Within a whisker of walking away with one. Cincinnati they have no shot.
I think this is a trap game, man. This is another trap game.
I don't think it's a trap game, and the reason I don't think this is a trap game is the simple fact of both teams are playing well.
So since it's not a trap game, you've seen Mahomes respond from a loss. Have you seen that yet?
No. But I know who he has on the field. And I know who Cincinnati have on the field. I mean, I love me some Joe Mixon. Don't get it twisted.
I'm trying to tell you.
The brother can ball. I told you about him when he first got drafted. I told you, this man is going to change life in Cincinnati.
That was years ago. You did say that. You called it. But you picked Kansas City.
It's all, what my man Denzel said. You got the magic eye on it.
You damn sure do. I want to go Cincinnati because
You going to go Cincinnati?
I want to go Cincinnati because it's a trap. I know it's a trap game. I haven't seen Mahomes come back. Cincinnati, they had that heartbreaking loss last week. I know they're hurting. I know they're mad. I think they're improved. I think they're the most improved team. You got the Browns and then you got the Bengals. I think they're two of the most improved teams.
I'll give you the spread on that, 5.5. I'll give you the spread.
So you think they're gonna beat them by more than that?
I'll give you the spread.
Man, you must think Cincinnati. You must think that they're a college team or something.
No, they're not sweet.
They're not sweet like that. They can score.
They not scoring on. They can score on Kansas City, but Kansas City can score on anybody.
If my man Bates is balling,
they had Jacksonville out there and they was lighting them up. They lit them up like a Christmas tree.
I'm going Cincinnati. I don't care if I lose. I just think it's a trick game. I'm not.
Here goes a game that I think is a trap game.
What's the trap game?
New York Jets and Minnesota. That's the trap game.
Yeah, it is.
That is the trap game of the week, I say. And the Jets gonna walk away with this one. I'm going Gang Green.
J-E-T.
Jets.
So you go with the Jets.
I'm going with the New York Football
Who's
Jets.
home? I think
it's in New York.
It is in New York.
Because we tear up Captain Kirk. The Jets tear him to pieces. Every time they play him, they tear him to pieces. They got the book on him. I like Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is...
He's going to eat.
He will be on my FanDuel line this week. He will eat. Stephon Diggs might eat.
He going to eat too.
But I think the Jets just have the requisite pieces. And Minnesota's not playing that well. They're really not playing that well.
And the Jets are starting to believe. That's what's so dangerous. This is definitely a trap game. I'm going to have to go. I got to go with the Vikings, though. I think it's going to be very close. But I think that defense is going to... Donald's going to get his. I think they're going to exchange, and it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. And I think that's when the Vikings will pluck him off. And if Crowell is not 100%, that's definitely not.
He's playing today, though.
I know he's playing, and I know Cook's out. Mm-hmm. So that means fantasy, Kirk Cousins is going to sling that ball.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Alrighty. Jacksonville, Houston. This is a toss-up to me because I don't know what the heck's going to happen.
Jacksonville and then Jacksonville. Houston is going to Jacksonville.
They're going to win.
Who you got?
Houston's going to win that game. Houston's going to win in Jacksonville. The thing about the Jacksonville defense is if you're in the pocket, they will kill you. If you can get outside the pocket, they have problems.
They do have problems. They struggle heavy. I watched that.
And when you can get outside the pocket on them,
they don't have
they can't be had.
You right.
They can be
right.
had.
I ain't even gonna fake. You right.
And then you got somebody with some weapons. Dak did that to them. They put up 40.
Yeah. But
and he has nothing.
Dak didn't do that. Dak did it, but Zeke made it comfortable. Can Lamar Miller somehow amplify with Zeke?
I'm gonna tell you this.
Go ahead.
They could combat that.
Okay.
With the outside weapons that they have with DeAndre Hopkins. There's nobody on Dallas that
they don't have a DeAndre. They couldn't clone one.
They don't have a Will Fuller either.
They don't. They don't.
So that's two guys right there that have to be dealt with.
They might not even have a Kiki Conti.
Kiki can play.
Yeah, he can ball. They don't have Jack. I got to roll with you on that. Jacksonville just
It's just Blake. I mean,
he's a bum. There's no way to sugarcoat it. He's a bum. I watched it. He's a stone cold bum.
What a facade that he put on early this year.
I didn't ever believe the hype.
I mean, my goodness, that was a facade if I ever done seen one.
And Houston defense is starting to gel. So yeah, I'm with you. I go Houston.
This is an interesting game to me right here. Baltimore, New Orleans. Hot O versus Hot D. I mean, last week, Baltimore, they put on a clinic. 11 sacks.
Yeah, but I mean, Mariota, he just...
He ain't mobile.
He just wasn't there. And you got to think that hand injury, too, is limiting him, too. I mean, we got to... I don't want to make excuses, but, you know, that hand thing is definitely playing a part into it. But, who you got? Baltimore Saints.
This was so hard.
They're in Baltimore.
Yeah, I know where they're at. Dang. I have New Orleans walking away with this one. I have New Orleans walking away just for the simple fact of they can combat what they did. Like the pressure that Baltimore did against them, Deion Lewis couldn't do nothing about that with the screen game.
Yeah.
Kamar's a different story right there. That's a whole different story.
You mean Kamara? You mean Ingram? Ingram is gonna come up there. That's
if you let me finish,
okay.
I will explain that.
Okay,
the dimensions.
Explain the dimensions.
Okay. When you have somebody that can run in between the tackles and somebody that can scat, and then you can line them both up with Drew Brees on the outside, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
You don't know if they're gonna go inside Ingram or screen Kamara. So you can't pin your ears back and just go in.
Okay.
With the Titans last week, Derrick Henry is not gonna. I don't know why he's still in the league to this day. I think he's a complete shell. Anybody in Alabama can run the rock. You get to the league, only Mark Ingram can prove he can run the rock in the league.
I agree.
So
he's a favorite.
I don't know what the hype was. I never saw it in college either.
Me neither.
And so whatever.
Poor man Eddie George. That's what he was to me.
He ain't no poor man Eddie George. I don't know what it was.
What he a poor man Chris Warren?
No, he a poor man Trent Richardson. As far as I
Nah, don't you dare. Trent Richardson couldn't see the hole if you forced it down his throat. He was blind as a bat in that backfield.
Oh my goodness. I was gonna say something else, but I don't think the FCC would like that too much.
Oh, okay.
So we're not gonna say that.
Okay.
But
I got you.
No. No, they couldn't do what they did. And so I think New Orleans, and then Michael Thomas on the outside, they have nobody out there in Tennessee that can do anything as far as what Michael Thomas did can do. I got New Orleans.
All right, we both go New Orleans. What else?
The Rams at San Francisco.
It's a trap game, though.
No, it's not. I even got the Rams covering the spread by 11.
I don't think they'll cover it by 11.
I mean, it's going to be a disaster.
But, I mean, I'd be an idiot if I went against them. But I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be a tougher game. I think 49ers, they're at home, right? 49ers at home, I believe.
They have no answer for Gurley. They can't stop that man.
No one has an answer for Gurley.
Well, then it's over.
But at the end of the day,
he put 200 on Denver.
He did.
200.
But Denver wasn't there. Denver wasn't there mentally, mind, body, and soul. And John had to come down and say, y'all either going to play some damn defense or everybody got to go. So they just dropped 45 on Arizona. But everybody, they was about to clean house.
He still is because Demaryius Thomas is on the block right now. And Emmanuel Sanders.
He'd be stupid to let Demaryius go. But I think...
There is some real traction to that. There's a couple teams out there that are...
All right, well, after we make this pick so we can get into that, we both go Rams. I go 40. I don't go 49. We both go Rams.
Yeah, okay. Atlanta, the Giants. It's Atlanta. I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's a shootout. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be one of those things where the Giants, they're just bad. And when you're bad, you're bad. And it gets worse. So it's not going to be close. Even though Atlanta doesn't really have a defense either, they have more hotto than what they can, than what the Giants can handle.
Atlanta.
And then the Giants ain't going to be able to score with them because they don't have the weapons to stop the even score. It's Saquon or bust. Saquon might have to go for 300 just for them to be in the game. No, it's not happening.
At the end of the day, Eli got to go.
Yes, he do.
That picture when he looked baffled that everybody keeps playing, that's what he's dealing with. He's baffled right now. The game is beyond him. Mm-hmm. He can no longer see it as quickly as he used to because the players are getting faster and he's getting slower. He's not Tom Brady. Falcons. Eli, you gotta go. Hang it up.
Okay, so what do you think about...
That's all the games?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
All right. We did pretty good.
Yeah, we did damn good.
So, what do I think about what?
Demarius Thomas.
I think that, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think the wideouts is the problem. I think the problem is Keenan. And they don't really have a tight end. Because, you know, when you got a struggling quarterback, his best friend is the tight end, a running game and the tight end. And if you don't have, and their running game is getting good, but it's not.
I like Phillip Lindsay. Phillip Lindsay can play.
I like Royce. I
love Phillip Lindsay.
I like Freeman. I think Freeman is a dog. But it's like you know what I'm saying? Either one of them, you don't know who's going to get hot. That's why they share the carries. There's not really a one or a two. But I think they need more consistency from that running back spot, and they should have grabbed them a tight end.
They just need a plan of action and execute a plan of action. I think it's just one of those teams that's just trying to scramble pieces together in hopes to gel with the core players that they have on their team. They don't really have an identity. So when you have an identity crisis, you just try to bring anybody in and hope that it's like throwing pasta against the wall and hoping it sticks. Mm-hmm. And if it don't stick, you ain't got something, then you're going to go put it back in the pot, keep it brewing, and then throw it back on the wall and see if it sticks. That's just kind of what they're doing right now. And once they get a sense of direction and what they want to do as far as building their team, they're going to be okay.
As far as the offensive identity,
as far as an identity, period. Because they really hadn't had a franchise quarterback for real. I wouldn't even say Peyton Manning was a franchise quarterback. He was a rental. He was a rental more than anything.
They got him a ring though.
Yeah, he was a rental. Yeah. And I could rent a Lamborghini.
So you saying they haven't had a franchise quarterback since who? Elway?
I would say so. Honestly, I mean, I like Jake Plummer. He was pretty good with his time.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, Jake the Snake is here. Don't sleep on Jake the Snake. He was tossing that thing. Don't get it twisted. They went to AFC Championship games with him.
Yeah, but they wasn't about to beat no sheriff or no Peyton. I mean, they wasn't gonna beat the sheriff all the time.
Yeah, they wasn't. But still, I mean, they had somebody to build around, and they just don't now. And it's sad, and it's a tall tale. So I'm gonna do something a little different today.
What are you gonna do?
We're going to do our main take of the week. So basically what that's going to be is that I'm going to have a point of emphasis that I'm going to talk about as far as sports goes along, any sport, and then you can have, it's almost like a final take of what you have.
All right, what is your take?
There's something to be said in the NBA about refereeing. I
ain't say that. I just know where you gonna take it. I already know which way you going. Go ahead.
And also, there's a lot to do with sports gambling as well. I think that there's something to be said about colluding sports betting with refereeing. You already had that scandal at one point with Tim Donaghy and betting on games. And if you make gambling more relevant in sports, you're going to get more scandals like this. Mm. People are going to get better at covering it up. Doesn't mean that it's not taking place. Mm. And I really do not believe that Tim Donaghy was alone He was a lone wolf.
Oh yeah.
There was many involved.
Always and every time.
And so I just don't like how refereeing is really determining the outcome of games. It's getting to the point, not just basketball, football, all these sports. We really have to pay attention to this gambling. And we have to pay attention to what's going on the field. Because somehow, some way, there's always, that's why I go to the spread. Because if I see what Vegas is doing for the spread, I can kind of gauge on what's going on, what's going to happen in the game. Because Vegas is going to win no matter what. You just have to know what game to pick with Vegas. Because they'll give you one to take 5. That's just how it works. And so that's just my final take on gambling in sports. Is it good or bad? I mean, you be the judge.
You gamble.
Nobody said I didn't.
All right, then.
But it's determining the out. I don't want gambling. Like, I'm going to pick my players. I got FanDuel. Okay. But what I don't want is for my line to be the difference between men on the field being able to do what they have to do.
You just want to know who's going to take the dive.
Exactly. I want to know. Somebody's going to take a dive.
Who's going to... Because they will every time.
I mean, this is fun. But you got actual people out there that's trying to feed families and stuff like that, and I don't think that this should determine that. You know what I'm saying? That gambling is going to determine that. You know what I'm saying? I have a heart first. Mm-hmm. But I do love my FanDuel. I love my line. And I got a couple blocks on the Dallas game. 8-9 Dallas.
Okay. 8-9?
8-9 Dallas.
You think that's going to be the score of the game?
No. Last number. That's a whole nother story. You don't know how blocks work. I got to explain that to you.
Yeah, I got to explain. You're just talking to me now. You got to explain to me. I don't care about blocks.
I do.
I care about the game. Who's going to win or who's going to lose, how much the points, who refereeing, who's injured. All that stuff matters. Where they at. Who's taking the dive. That's what I want to know. Damn a block. Who's taking the dive today? Who's saying, what pass can I drop to get this bonus? That's what I want to know.
All right, so what's your final take?
My final take is, as the seasons, as NBA emerges, I want to know what would the Lakers, what seed would they end up in? Because it's very interesting. Because it's like everybody's LeBron, and I turn the game on back to Cali, and they got Tupac, California, all this LeBron hoopla, and they're 0-2. Reggie, season just started. Give it some time. Things will happen. Okay, but why all this celebration and there's no wins? I'm looking at Ingram starting to be himself. It was just like everybody was out for themselves on LA. Is LeBron really your leader? Besides, can he really command the respect like Jordan did? Do they fear him enough to respect him? Because you heard the way Ingram talked about Lance Stevens. He said, look, Slim, Lance is crazy. I'm not listening to nothing he said. Does he feel the same way about LeBron?
That's a very interesting point. My opinion on that.
What's your opinion, sir?
The Lakers going to get 6 or 7 seed.
Okay, Sir Charles.
They really are.
Okay.
And it's the fact of the matter of they don't play defense.
Okay, Barkley.
Who's playing D? And half the players ain't no good. Half of them going to be gone.
Half of who's not good?
Lonzo's going to be gone for a shooter. They're going to trade Lonzo Ball. They're going to get him up out of there.
So you trade Lonzo Ball to keep Reggie Rondo?
You damn right.
A 40-year-old Rondo.
They're not Ball. The thing about Ball is he's not effective unless he has the ball in his hands running. He can't. LeBron, when game time comes,
you're a great GM to do that, and I'm being very sarcastic.
I know.
To let a young Lonzo.
Don't think I'm not okay. See, here's the thing. Here's what I would do with Lonzo. I'm gonna get a shooter and a young point guard that can stand still and shoot the ball. If LeBron's gonna be the leader of my team. So here goes my trade machine. I got a little trade machine.
What's going on in the trade machine?
In my little trade machine, there's some people that I like to envision.
Mm-hmm.
A couple players from one team. If I could do this, if it was allowed to be done,
mm-hmm.
I would trade Lonzo Ball to Milwaukee and get Malcolm Brogdon and Chris Middleton. It will change life on the Lakers completely.
They're not about to let Chris Middleton go.
They got to pay Chris Middleton and they got to pay Giannis. Somebody got to go.
Somebody don't have to go.
So what, you going to pay both of them and be the
I
second star?
both of them. I pay both of them.
Happening.
You got to pay. So. You got to pay Chris. Chris is one of the best 3-point shooters Chris Middleton is a poor man's Kevin Durant.
Oh my Lord!
He's a poor man's Kevin Durant. You must not watch his game. He could ball. He's a poor man Durant. Durant give you 30, he give you 20, 22. Same game. Durant probably handle a little better, but they both go to hole. They both damn near 7 foot. They both shoot the three. I like them. But if I were the GM of the Lakers, I wouldn't trade Lonzo for Rondo. Rondo is he's a point guard. He's one of the greatest pure point guards in NBA history. I mean, probably top 50, maybe top 30. I don't know if I can sneak Rondo in top 25 point guard. Maybe. Yeah, I sneak him in top 25 point guards all the time.
It's questionable at best.
It's very questionable, but I mean, I think I sneak him in. But I trade Rondo and KCP. I keep Josh Hart. I give Josh Hart more time.
Oh, it's mandatory.
You got to give Hart time because he's balling. I give Kuzma more time. And I let KCP go. KCP got to go. And Rondo got to go. Because Rondo basically is the same person. He's an older... All Rondo is an older Lonzo Ball. They both can't shoot. They both see the court exceptional. Even though Lonzo was letting that, he was stroking last night. I don't know if he could do it every night.
Yeah, that's not happening every night.
But it's like, why would you have two of the same players on the court? Like you need room for more. So I mean, let Rondo go and let KCP go. Let Hart give more time. Let Ball start. And just grow like that and add more role pieces. You don't want pieces that's undefined because too many roles are undefined right now. So you overloaded. You got a good look. I like what you did, Magic. You overloaded. Now let some of these pieces go. Let's trim some of the fat and get what you need.
So who's going to be the better fit with LeBron? Who's their second star?
It's Brandon Ingram.
No, I'm not talking about this shit. Brandon Ingram's going.
Yeah, that's what I'm questioning. And then Kuzma. I like Brandon Ingram.
So who in free agency is going to be the difference? Who you think that if the Lakers could sign?
I mean, regarding who? Like who? Those names are good. AD's not going to. AD is New Orleans.
Yeah, they're going.
They have to write it. They have no choice but to write that check.
But AD has the option to say, the hell with it.
He has the option, but why leave? I don't know what's going on in his head, but that's your team. That's solely your team. That's your franchise.
At the end of the day, do you think, are you going to win there? If you're not going to win there, I don't want to be there.
You want to see them beat Houston? They can win. They got a squad.
Houston don't play a lick of D.
Houston is a nice team.
They're nice.
They're not.
They regressed.
Houston, they didn't regress. They're number 2.
They regressed.
I totally disagree.
They regressed.
They beat a tough LA team, which is.
They don't play no D.
LA played a little D.
They played somebody that played D, and they got ran out of their own building.
That's game 1. They Pelicans hit them in the mouth. They didn't see that coming. They did not see that. Nobody seen that railroad coming.
I did. I picked AD on my fantasy team. He got me 80.5.
You picked AD. You didn't pick
Pelicans
for a damn win. There's a difference.
I picked Merrick too, and he gave me 45.
Okay, why you?
I knew they was gonna blow them.
Of course, because Carmelo. Yeah, but if you put PJ on him, he don't look like Bird.
He did look like Bird.
Yeah, he did look like Bird. He looked like he was a Tom Chambers. Bird. I mean, one of the great whites of all time. I mean, it was crazy.
Oh my goodness!
One of the greatest white players of all time. I'm just like, dog, like
put a hand on
him. Yeah, like push him or something. He don't get busy like that. He was getting. You can't let Mervick give you 30. You can't let Mervick give you 30. You can't do that.
You can't let Mervick. Mervick can't get you. If Mervick gets you 30, you got a problem.
Yeah, Mervick shouldn't do that. So, I mean,
but I think Houston regressed. I really do. I think defensively they're gonna struggle many nights. They can score with anybody. And they're going to look like an old 80s Denver Nuggets team that's going to have to put up a real serious crooked numbers. I mean, Chris Paul.
Why would they struggle with They lost.
Chris Paul's about to miss some time.
They lost. He ain't going to miss that much. I mean, you lost Trevor Ariza.
That was big.
But you swapped him out for James Ennis. He's the same player. James Ennis plays D.
But at what rate can he score? No, there ain't no blip, but he can't shoot like Trevor Ariza can shoot.
Trevor Ariza was 0 for 16 in the finals in the last minute. 0 for 12 or something.
Everybody, damn, they missed 27 straight threes. Everybody missed.
Exactly, and I think he was like 12 of them. I think he was 12 of them.
Harden missed 8 of them, and he's your star.
Ariza can shoot. I mean, we know what Harden is. Harden, to me, that's Chris Paul's team. Harden is just the
oh, my Lord.
That's Chris Paul's team, dog.
Are you serious?
That's Chris Paul's team, dog. Chris Paul is the general. Follow me as I lead. Chris Paul is a leader. Harden is not
and
a
when
leader.
times get rough, my hamstring, and I'm gone.
I can't speak for that. I don't know if they.
And I'm gone.
I don't know if mob ties was into that. But I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for that. I don't know if the State Farm deal was on the line or something. But at the end of the day,
where was State Farm last night when he was getting popped by Rondo?
I mean, hey,
I think he needed coverage last night.
I wouldn't have thought about
he needed coverage last night.
He threw a couple back too, though. I mean, Rondo shocked him when he let the first drink go, and then Chris got mad and then threw one back, and then LeBron's always in the way. Grab him. He grabbed Rondo. He let them go. Why you grabbing Paul? He pieced him. Like if I get pieced twice, I don't want my man to hold my arms after I just got hit twice. Grab him.
You know that's banana boat ties.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
That's all. It all goes back to the old banana boat.
Grab him. Don't grab me. I'm getting beat up and you gonna grab me. But Paul let one go and then he Rondo ducked. And I was about to say, don't say you ain't see the up.
I give you that. That was a nice little uppercut.
So you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say he beat him up.
That's a little Floyd right
there. But that two-piece that when he hit him off the top, I mean, it shook me. And then Brandon Ingram came in fake and tried to throw the little late drink that he missed.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Like, stay out of it. That wasn't your rap.
Yeah, it was his rap because he started it.
He
started that war.
Remember what I told you earlier in the show? There was more to that.
I know it was more to it, but when he pushed Harden out like he was a chick, when he pushed Harden out there like a little girl.
I was out to see.
Yeah. When he did that, then you know what I'm saying? Temperatures rose. You don't push a dude out the way like a little girl. Like he pushed him two hands. It wasn't no little. It was a little. You know what I'm saying? He pushed him like real strong, like he was a woman. I'm just like, those might have to be exchanged. I'm seeing Harden is all looking like this. I'm like,
did you see that?
Yeah.
No. I'm about to say, ain't no did you see that? If it was me, I'd be like, watch this.
But that's why he's not a leader. That's why I said Chris Paul.
Because that would have happened to Chris Paul. They exchanged.
Yeah, in his face. He's not going to tuck behind the ref and then look all baffled in the face. Nah.
So, I got a quick question for you before we get off this air.
Okay.
What do you think was the greatest NBA fight you ever seen?
The greatest NBA fight?
Yeah.
when Dr. J and
when Charles Barkley
Dr. J, Charles Barkley, when they had Bird like this at their disposal. I think one had Bird by the neck, and then Dr. J was just letting them go, just giving them all that good work. I think that was probably the best joint I ever seen. That was legendary. Because they was serious. Mm-hmm. They didn't like Bird, and Bird didn't like him.
Bird talked a lot of mess.
He talked a lot of mess.
They took care of him.
And he got handled.
Me personally, 92, 93, KJ versus Doc Rivers. Have you seen that?
Oh, okay, yeah. But blows wasn't really good.
Yes, blows were exchanged. And then Greg Anthony in his suit off the bench.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I think I showed you that.
No, you did not show me that.
Okay, I was about to say, that was the
he showed me that.
Oh, okay.
He showed me that. He was like,
sure?
Yeah, I'm very sure. Okay. He showed me that. You might have shown E. I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say, because
I don't know what happened before that, but I know E showed me that.
That was a good one, too.
And I was just like, my gosh. He came off the pine. He was supposed to be hurt.
And that's another thing. Them commentators gotta stop hyping it. There's no room for that in sports. Yes, it is room for it. Who are you? You in a suit. It ain't no room for you to fight in a suit. But if I'm out there in a jersey battling and my man get pushed out the whole camera like a little girl, temperatures will get heated. Things will get escalated. So, at the end of the day...
Yeah, but they had to outlaw all that fighting after that Malice in the Palace, when the fans got involved.
That's different. That's a different monster. That was whole
No,
different.
but they had to outlaw it, though, because it started off with one thing. And
there was a couple street dudes, and then...
There was more than a couple street dudes.
There was a couple of street dudes
the whole
in that
name
ball,
and the team. They was out there. If I seen them on the block traffic, I wouldn't have thought they played ball.
That's a little different. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to compare that.
You had some brothers out there that,
that was a street thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't had nothing to do with basketball.
Like Zebo and them boys.
Yeah, that ain't had nothing to do with basketball. Not at all. After that man threw that bear at him, the basketball was out the window.
All right. That's what we have for now. Like, what is your hat? Yeah, you said the world is yours. Something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't say let's clear this up. This ain't no Kanye special. Not at all.
I was about to say that to say make America great.
Nah, I'm on my Nas tip, man. The world is yours. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on no. Yeah, that's what it says. It doesn't say let's make America great again. Not at all. I would never do that.
Oh my. All right, one more thing. Fantasy player of the day. Who you got?
Fantasy breakout, Kirk Cousins.
Oh, he said Captain Kirk.
I think he's going to have the biggest game.
That's interesting. That is very interesting. All right, mine's other day. Will Fuller.
Will Fuller?
Will Fuller. All righty. Thank you for joining us. No lie. We'll see you soon. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. My knees cracking and everything. I feel like I'm 50.